spot. And the interesting thing is that you look at the towboat there, and it's still essentially the design from 1814.
Yeah.
And it proved on at noon.
It's functional.
That's the one thing I'm going to have to make rules for. So when I talk to them at the Howard Steamboat Museum, I asked about standards for steamboats, and they said there were none. He went to the shipbuilder and he said, I want a ship to run from La Crosse, Wisconsin down to Cairo and back up to Paducah. It's got to run this over and over. I'm going to be carrying this kind of cargo, this many passengers, and they would specifically design your boat.
This is just the kind of video that absolutely can't compete with the cat video.
And yet, you know, there are a hell of a lot of steamboat videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as many as cat videos.
Well, no, of course not. I mean, cat videos.
Cats. When I was writing the dedication, I mentioned I remembered these ships from being in Louisville. I said, of course, the Belle, still there. The Delta Queen, currently a floating hotel in Chattanooga.
Oh,
Knoxville.
That's sad.
Yeah, but they didn't strip her of her machinery, so she could be refurbished.
Oh, that's cool.
The problem for her is that Congress in the 60s passed an act that said that an all-wooden boat could not have overnight passengers.
You mean all wooden boats aren't considered safe?
No.
Well, given the number of steamboats that blew up during the 19th century, I can understand why they might think that.
Oh, yes, but this is the 21st century.
We don't have as many of them out there to blow up.
Well, we aren't running them the same way they did then.
That's true.
So.
Then again, there was that steamboat race thing that they used to do.
That's true. A lot.
Which I guess they don't do anymore.
I think they still have the Great Steamboat Race. I just don't think it's the Delta Queen running it. But.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered the Majestic, which is currently moored in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
The Julia Bell Swain that came down a few years is currently up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, looking for backing to get herself back on the river.
Mm.
And the Bonnie Bell that used to be in Jeffersonville is currently down in Louisiana, cruising about Lake Caddo on the Red River.
Huh.
And aside from that, you have the Natchez and the Mississippi Queen.
Not many.
Not many.
Then again, the allure of a river cruise isn't so alluring when you think how much rivers look alike as you're going down them. Like I said last night, it's a lot more interesting to be sitting on the shore watching things go by than it is to actually be on one of the boats.
But then there's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern's observation: you never cannot be on a boat. I've often not been on a boat.
Yes.
I have to put that in the quote somewhere. And get ready to slap down the first person to tell me it's a ship. No, bitch, it's a boat.
No, this is a river. They're boats.
They're boats. They've always been boats. They always will be boats.
I guess if you put them on the ocean, you might have to start calling them a ship.
Yeah, try to put these on the ocean as little as possible because they're not terribly seaworthy.
Though some of these things do seem to somehow make it overseas. I know it makes no sense to me either. But I have read of such things in the New Yorker magazine, which is, of course, always true.
Absolutely.
To be fair, it's always an interesting read, and you get the feeling like the people have done their research, which with a lot of news magazines, I don't come away with the feeling like they've done more than 5 minutes worth of Googling.
Yeah. Sadly, yes. And sadly, one of those is National Geographic.
Yeah.
I can't read anymore unless it's got a photo spread that I definitely want. I can't buy it because it's that bad.
Well, it's certainly gone down. Some magazines go out when they're ahead and keep their reputation. Life magazine will always be considered something you could look back on and get something really interesting.
Yes.
Whereas, sadly, the same cannot be said for Time, Newsweek.
Yeah.
They've sort of become the people magazines of their time. And unfortunately for them, People magazine has already got that niche really sewed up.
Thank God, because you wouldn't want too many of them.
Well, a good thing about river traffic is it doesn't use much energy to transport things, but you really do have to not mind them getting there very slowly.
It's a different pace of life than 1835.
Yeah. And to be fair, looking at it here, it isn't much faster. Enough of this, I think.